Okay, hello, morning everybody. You're welcome to this lesson. And this lesson is we are going to look at, in this lesson we are going to look at area. We are going to look at area of a square. We're going to look at area of a square, area of rectangle, and a parallelogram. We are going to look at area of three things and a parallelogram. Parallelogram. So we are going to look at a parallelogram. Remember, we have been looking at the properties of quadrantals. We looked at all of them. So now, we shall start with a square. We are going to start with a square. We already know the properties of a square. So we are now going to find the area of a square. A square looks like this. All the sides of a square are equal in length and all the angles are 90. So this is a square. This is what we call a side. That is one side. We shall use the letter S for side. And this is also another side. This is also a side, and this is a side. So we are finding area of a square. Area of a square, area of a square is equal to, now let me erase this for more space. Area of a square is equal to side times side. Area of a square is equal to side times side, which is the same as S times S. And the result of S times S, when you multiply S times S, you get S squared, meaning that therefore area of a square is equal to S squared. Area of a square is equal to S squared. So example. One, given that the length of a square, is 1.2 meters. Calculate its area. Very good. That is the question. Given that the length of a square is 1.2 meters, calculate its area. We go back. We have said that area of a square is equal to side times side. And the result of multiplying S times S is S squared, or S raised to the power 2. So we come and, if I'm to draw that square, this is how it looks like. Remember, all the sides of a square are what? Are equal. And we have said the length of each side is 1.2 meters. So now we write, that is going to be, so area is equal to S squared. Area of a square is equal to S squared, which is the same as And what is the side? It is an S squared is a result multiplying the side twice. S squared implies S times S. It means S times S. So which is 1.2 meters times 1.2 meters. 1.2 meters times 1.2 meters. So this is, that is 12 out of 10. It is easier when you change to common fraction. Times 12 out of 10. M times M is M squared. M times M is M squared. I've said it is easier if you change the decimals to common fraction. Now you multiply the numerators. 12 times 12, you're going to get 144. Out of 10 times 10, you're going to get 100 meters squared. Now we are going to change, we cannot leave our answer like this. We are going to change it to decimal since we have zeros. So 1 0, you shift 1 decimal place. 2 zeros, you shift to 2 decimal places. So you do not have any zero to continue shifting. So the final answer is going to be 1.44 meter squared. So that is the area of a square. So now I will take you straight to the rectangle. I will take you straight to the rectangle. So now we have gone to number 2, which is the rectangle. Rectangle is our number 2. Rectangle. How does a rectangle look like? Remember we looked at the rectangle and we said that for a rectangle, two of its opposite sides are what? Are equal. Two of its opposite sides are equal. Okay, so let me try to draw a rectangle. So that is a rectangle. That is a rectangle. This is what we call its width. The shortest side is what we call its width. At times it is what they call it breadth. Width or breadth. Then this is its length. This is the length, or what we call area. Now, how do we find the area of a rectangle? So area of a rectangle is equals to length times width. Area of a rectangle is equal to length times width. Area of a rectangle is equal to length times width, which is equals to L times W. Are we together? The area of a rectangle is equals to L times W. So I will straight away take you to the example. Okay. A rectangular field is 100 meters by 50 meters long. Calculate its area. Calculate its area. Calculate its area. Okay, a rectangular field is 100 meters by 50 meters long. Calculate its area. So we are going to calculate we are going to calculate its area. I think we no longer need this heading, we already have it. So now, calculate its area. First of all, whenever they do not give you a diagram, it's better you draw a sketch of that diagram. So this is my rectangular field. This is my rectangular field. They have said its width is 50 meters. Its width is 50 meters. And its length is 100 meters. So we have said area of a rectangle is equals to length times the width. Area of a rectangle is equal to length times the width. So which is equals to the length is the longest side, which is 100 meters, times the width, which is 50 meters. The width is 50 meters. So now we multiply, that is 100 times 50. M times M is M squared. M times M is M squared. M times M is M squared. So 100 times 50, that one you are going to get 5,000 square meters. That means the area of that rectangular field is 100 square meters. Okay. We now go to the parallelogram. Parallelogram. Parallelogram, we are going to look at area of a parallelogram. Area of a parallelogram is, first of all, we looked at, that is our number 3. We are looking at the parallelogram. We are looking at the parallelogram. How does it look like? Some people call it a slanted rectangle. Why? Because two of its opposite sides are equal. It shares some of the properties of it. This is how a parallelogram looks like.
Who is next? Let's do it.
This is how a parallelogram looks like. This is how a parallelogram looks like. Two of its opposite sides are parallel. Two of the opposite sides are equal. Two of the opposite sides of a parallelogram are what? Are equal. Now, this is what we call its base. This is what we call its base, and we shall use letter B for the base. This is what we call its length. That is its length, and we shall use letter L to describe its length. And this is what we call, that is its height. This is its height. And this is what we call its height. We shall describe the height using letter H. Okay, now, remember last time we looked at the properties of a parallelogram. We said that two of its opposite sides are equal, meaning that this side is equal to this side. And I think you are seeing this marked signs, the two bars to show that these two opposite sides are equal. Even this other side is equal to this other side. Some people call it a slanty rectangle. Why? Because a rectangle has got two opposite sides equal, and a parallelogram has also got two opposite sides equal. The only difference is that the parallelogram is slanting, yet a rectangle is not slanting. So now, let us go to the area. Remember yesterday we looked at the properties of a parallelogram. So we all know the properties of a parallelogram, and remember we said it's a quadrilateral because it has got 4 sides. Now area of a parallelogram. Area of a parallelogram is equals to base times height, not base times length as a rectangle. It is base times the height. Area of a parallelogram is equals to base times the height. Area of a parallelogram is equals to base times height, which is B. We have said B represents the base, times H represents the height of the parallelogram. So area of a parallelogram is base times height. Now we go to the example. We go to the example. Calculate the area of the parallelogram below. That is, calculate the area of the parallelogram. Parallelogram. Calculate the area of the parallelogram below. Calculate the area of the parallelogram below, and this is the parallelogram. We are going to find its area. Okay, that is a parallelogram, and its height is 6 centimeters. Its base is 11 centimeters. And its length is 8 centimeters. They are asking me to find the area of a parallelogram. Remember we've said area of a parallelogram is equals to base times height. But what you should know is you should be able to tell which is the base and which is the height. And the position of the base and the height is determined by the symbol of this right angle. Where you find the symbol of a right angle is where you have the base and the height. Please, this is the length. We have said area is base times height, not base times length. So, which is going to be 11 centimeters times 6 centimeters. 11 centimeters times 6 centimeters. So, which is 11 times 6 cm times cm, that is cm squared, which is 66 centimeters squared. So this is that is the area of a parallelogram. I think we must have understood how to find the area of a parallelogram. But to take you through what we have looked at, remember we said among the properties of a square, we said a square has got all its sides equal. A square is a quadrilateral. All the interior angles, each of the interior angles of a square is 90 degrees. And remember I also said that all the angles in a square add up to 360 degrees. Then we go to a rectangle. For a rectangle we say, remember we said the diagonals of a square bisect each other at 90 degrees, if you remember. Now we go to a rectangle. We said opposite sides of a rectangle are equal. Opposite sides of a rectangle are equal. That is to say, this side is equal to this side in length, and this side is equal to this side in terms of length. Now, we also said in a rectangle, each of the interior angle is 90 degrees. Each of the interior angles of a rectangle is 90 degrees. And we also said that all the angles inside the rectangle add up to 360. That is this 90 plus this 90 plus this 90 plus this 90, you get 360 degrees. If I'm to remind you with a parallelogram also, we said a parallelogram opposite sides are equal. Opposite sides of a parallelogram are equal, meaning that this side is equal to this side and this side is equal to this side. And we also said opposite sides of a parallelogram are parallel. Opposite sides of a parallelogram are parallel. So remember, we also said the diagonals. We talked of opposite angles. Opposite angles in a parallelogram are equal. This angle is opposite this one. Opposite interior angles in a parallelogram are equal, meaning that this angle is equal to this angle, and this angle is equal to this angle. But not all of them are equal. But the opposite angles are what? Are equal. Maybe I'll give you some activity that you'll have to do during your free time. I give you a few questions, like 5, that you'll have to do during your free time. Okay, activity. This is the activity you will try. You should be able to look at the diagram and tell what it is. Whether it is a square, or whether it is a rectangle, or whether it is a parallelogram. You also find the area of this figure, which is 15 decimeters by 11 decimeters. This one is in decimeters. Part C, we also have another one. Also have another one. And this is going to be our this is our part C. This is another figure. And you should be able to tell by looking at the diagram. You should be able to know which figure it is. The opposite sides are parallel to each other. So this is 10 centimeters. This is 7 centimeters. And this is 8 centimeters. So calculate the area of that figure. Question 2. Find the area of a square garden. Find the area of a square garden. Find the area of a square garden whose side is 10.7 meters. Find the area of a square garden whose side is 10 meters. Question 3. Find a rectangular playground. Rectangular playground. A rectangular playground measures 24 meters. That is 24 meters by 13 meters. By 13 meters. Full stop. Calculate its area. Calculate its area. And our last question, lastly, which is number 4. Question 4. Find the area of the parallelogram. Find the area of a parallelogram parallelogram and the area of a parallelogram whose base is 8 centimeters and height 14 centimeters. Yes, the height is 14, so you find the area of that parallelogram. So please make sure you do that activity for practice of what we have learned. Otherwise, thank you for watching this lesson. Bye-bye.